In this episode, I want to talk about goals, dreams, and visions for the future. Chances are, at one point or other, we've all sat daydreaming about the future, what could be, things we'd like to experience, the things we'd like to have. And so what I want to go through is an exercise that I guide them through to help them get clarity on what it is that they're working towards, what it is that they want to achieve and have in their lives. Now, I've done lots of exercises like this myself. I've done 3 MIQ, the most important questions. I've created vision boards and done various other things. But for me, just because of the type of person that I am, I needed something quite simple. I also needed something that was a little visual that I could look at and see. And so what I created is the tale of your life. And tale, each letter stands for something. So again, it's quick and easy to do. T is about time. A is for the activities. L is for location. And E is for experience. And the way that I do it, I create just a simple little grid. 4 quadrants, that's all it is. And so it's about writing down, how do you want to spend your time? That goes into the time quadrant. Maybe it's 3 hours of work a day. Maybe it's 4 hours. Maybe it's a full day of work, but then you only work 3 days a week. How do you want to use your time? For the activities quadrant, what are those activities that you want to do on a regular basis? It may be that there are a couple of things that you already have that you enjoy doing that you want to do more of, or there may be activities that you can see yourself starting in the future. You just never had the time or the freedom, flexibility to start yet. Those are the things that would go in your activities square. Then it's about location. Are there places in the world that you want to live or you want to visit? All of those would go into your location square. And then finally, for experiences, it's about writing down what are those experiences. It may be one time only type experiences that you want to have in your life. So there's a slight difference there between activities and experiences. Activities are things that you may want to do regularly with your time. Experiences are things that, it may be a once only type deal. This is our opportunity to write down the things that we want to work towards in our lives. And I sometimes get questions, and questions around time and activities. Are they not the same thing? And I'd say activities, again, is more about the specifics of what you want to do. Time is about what does that balance look like? More time with family. Okay, great. So is that 2 hours with family per day? Is it then 3 hours working for a business, earn some money, manage a stock portfolio, whatever that may be? Maybe going and doing some charity work, and then time, 2 hours for activities. Okay, great. Then what are those specific activities? So they are linked and there is a relationship between them, but it's more about, in the time box, how you want to split your time between different things: work, rest, play, family, things like that. The activities box is about the specific activities that you want to spend your time on. And once we've completed that, we have the tale of a life. We have the things that we want to do, where we want to be, the things we want to experience, and it gives us that visual representation of what we're working towards. We can see it, we have the grid view, and so it's something that we can keep referring back to and say, okay, am I getting closer to this? What's actually stopping me from doing this? What's holding me back? And that's where the 12 chains start to come into play. The example that I often use is location. If you've written down a location you want to visit or somewhere you want to live, chances are There's going to be things you need to know and understand before you can move there. Maybe it's a visa situation, maybe it's a tax situation, maybe it's about buying property. Doing the research on those things helps you break the knowledge chain, because you will then have the understanding of what's required to be able to move to that place or go and visit. So we can use the tail grid, the tail of our life, to support us looking at the 12 chains and then working to break them. So when I go through this process with people, that's exactly the flow that I take, the steps. So first it's about, let's create that vision. Let's create the things you want to do and achieve or have, where you want to be, how you want to spend your time. Then we look at the 12 chains. We understand the chains and set ways to break them. Knowledge, I gave an example of there, but there are other things that we can do. Okay, if we want to do new activities, maybe we need to free up time from something else. What are those things that we do for convenience, where we could get time back if we changed our behavior? Okay, now maybe we have the time available to do some more of the activities that we already do, or start new activities. And so that's the process that I take people through, is to say, let's create that vision, the goals, the dreams that you have, and then we can use that to say, okay, well, if we know that we have the 12 chains, which of these chains do we need to work on and break through to help us move forward to achieving the things on our tail grid? So that's just a quick and easy way for you to write down, keep a record of the things that you are working towards, things you want in your life. And the great thing is you can update it at any time. Once you've achieved something, an activity you've started or has become regular, or you've visited a destination, or you've had an experience, great. Now you can update your tail grid with new things that you want to have in there. So this can be an ongoing process, but it gives you something to work towards. A lot of times we keep things in our head, we never write them down. As soon as we write them down, it becomes more real. Again, it gives, for me personally, something to think about, to focus on, to work towards. And that's why, as I work with people, it's one of the things I get them to do, because it also then gives us something to talk about. How are we working towards a specific thing in the grid, whether it is usage of time or location or the experiences or the activities? We can have that ongoing dialogue, and if you work with an accountability partner, they can also give you that support to say, how are you working on, 1, 2, and 3 in your activities square, your activities quadrants, and you can have that back and forth, and they can maybe suggest some things to you and vice versa. And so it's a mechanism to help you move forward. It gives you something to potentially share with other people if you want to. You don't have to. You can keep it personal to you, but if you do share it, maybe you can get some suggestions from other people of how to achieve or work towards the things that you have on your grid. So that's what I wanted to take you through today, is the tail of your life, that tail grid of time, activities, location, and experiences that you want to have in your life.